Hello guys, welcome to my channel Swati Pharmagnan. Today's topic is antitubercular agents and their classification. Antitubercular agents are classified as first line agents, second line agents and antitubercular antibiotics. Under first line agents pyrazinamide, ethambutol and isoniazid. These three structures we have discussed in the previous video. Check it out for all these structures for my previous video. Now we'll continue with the second line agent. Under second line agent, the first structure is ethionamide. Here, eth indicates ethyl group, thio indicates sulfur atom, amide indicates sulfur is present in the place of carbon of amide group. Sulfur is present in the place of oxygen of amide group. Actually, the amide group is CONH2. In the place of oxygen, sulfur is present. So that's why thionamide, it indicates ethyl group, and these two side chains are present in the pyridine ring. These two side chains are present in the pyridine ring. Uses are it is used to treat isoniazid resistant tuberculosis, or when the patient is intolerant to isoniazid or sensitive to isoniazid, then we can replace the isoniazid with ethionamide in the combination therapy for the treatment of TB. Next structure is para-amino salicylic acid. We can simply call it as PAS. Already we know what is salicylic acid. Except this amino group, this particular group structure is considered as a salicylic acid, means phenyl ring containing COOH group and OH group at ortho positions is called as salicylic acid. Para amino salicylic acid means at the para position amino group is present. This amino group which is at para position is exactly opposite to carboxylic acid group, that is structure of para amino salicylic acid. It is a first line drug which is used in the treatment of chemotherapy of TB, and it is included in combination therapy with the regimens of isoniazid and streptomycin. Coming to mechanism of para-amino-salicylic acid, it is very similar to that of sulfonamides. Why? Because the sulfonamides also contains the free amino group and they also contains the sulfonamide group. Almost the structure is similar with the sulfonamides. That's why this mechanism of action is similar to that of sulfonamides. It prevents the incorporation of para-amino-benzoic acid into dihydrofolic acid molecule, which is catalyzed by the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase. So when the para-amino-benzoic acid will be converted into dihydroteroic acid, dihydrofolic acid and tetrahydrofolic acid, then it will lead to the formation of folic acid by using the various enzymes. If we'll inhibit the enzymes like dihydroteroate synthesis or dihydrofolate synthesis reductase, like these enzymes, then the complete synthesis will not take place. Folic acid plays an important role for the synthesis of DNA of bacteria or DNA of the microorganism. If this step is inhibited, then the DNA synthesis cannot occur. That is the mechanism of action of para-amino salicylic acid. Next structure is clofazimine. For this clofazimine structure, we have to remember the basic nucleus, that is phenazine. Phenazine is the structure, two phenyl rings and in between pyrazine ring is present. That is the structure of phenazine. So for this basic moieties and for the heterocyclic compounds, you can check it out in my channel, heterocyclic compounds. In that 40 heterocyclic compounds I have given. So if you will go through with the 40 heterocyclic compounds, then these structures, remembering of these structures will be easy for you. So for this phenazine structure, various substituents are attached. The substituents are, one is para-chlorophenyl group. Para-chlorophenyl group is attached to one nitrogen, and here at this position there is a double bond N and isopropyl group is attached. Isopropyl group is attached to the nitrogen, and here one more amino group is present. To this amino group para-chlorophenyl group is attached. That is structure of clofazimine. Here azimine indicates it is a phenazine. It indicates phenazine. Next, clo indicates chlorine group is present. Uses or it is a red colored basic dye which is used in the treatment of tuberculosis and it is a anti-inflammatory. During the tuberculosis, if the patient is experiencing any inflammatory conditions on his skin, then we can use this clofazimine drug. Mechanism of action is the drug will bind to the nucleic acids and it will concentrate in reticuloendothelial tissues and it will interfere with the electron transport process. That is the mechanism of action of clofazimine. Next class of anti-tubercular drugs is anti-tubercular antibiotics. Under anti-tubercular antibiotics, the first drug is rifampicin. These are the antibiotics which are used in the treatment of tuberculosis, means they are obtained either naturally or semi-synthetically from the microorganisms and we are using for killing the other microorganism, that is Mycobacterium tuberculi. This is structure of rifampicin. How we can, this is piperazine ring and this piperazine ring contains the methyl group at fourth position and here naphthalene ring is present. To this naphthalene ring, three hydroxy groups and one methyl group and one oxy group is attached and here this oxy group is directly linked to that is furan and this furan contains at third position carbonyl group. And how to remember this rifampicin structure is here the upper parts we have to remember it as crowns. How many crowns are there here? One, two, three. So three crowns first we have to draw that so that we will get the outline structure. Then what and all, how many side like this are there. So side how many humps are there? Two humps are there, that we have to remember and after that at the down and the substituents and all we have to remember by practicing. Uses or it is the most active agent which is clinically used for the treatment of tuberculosis. It is eradicating the symptoms of outbreak of meningitis also in high risk areas such as military facilities. In the military facilities, the people were doing the heavy work. So during that time, they will get the inflammation of the meninges. So for that symptoms of the meningitis also, we can use this rifampicin. Next is it is used in the treatment of leprosy in combination with dapsone. Because leprosy also caused by the same species, same genus, that is Mycobacterium leprae. So we can use for the treatment of leprosy along with the combination of dapsone. Next is in the treatment of endocarditis, means inflammation of the endocardium and osteomyelitis. For all this treatment, we can use this rifampicin. Next is mechanism of action of rifampicin. Rifampicin drug is most potent inhibitor of DNA dependent RNA polymerase in bacteria and it has bactericidal action. It will inhibit the enzyme that is DNA dependent RNA polymerase so that the replication, transcription and translation processes can be blocked and it will act as a bactericidal action. They have various semi-synthetic derivatives like rifampicin A, rifampicin B and rifampicin C, rifampicin D. All these rifampicin derivatives are biologically active, means they will show the biological activity when they will enter into the human system. Rifampicin will bind to the beta subunit of DNA dependent RNA polymerase, so which is the enzyme to prevent chain initiation. So when it will bind with the beta subunit of this enzyme, it will prevent the chain initiation so that chain elongation cannot occur and chain termination will not occur. Protein synthesis can be inhibited completely by rifampicin. Next structure is cycloserine. Cycloserine structure contains the basic nucleus or the heterocyclic compound is isoxazole. Isoxazole means 5-membered ring containing oxygen and nitrogen at first and second position is called isoxazole. But it is a saturated ring, so we have to call it as isoxazolidine. To this isoxazolidine, at third position, one ketone group is present and at fourth position there is a amino group, that is structure of cycloserine. Uses or it is a recommended drug for patients who fail to respond to other tuberculostatic drugs. If the patient is not responding to other drugs, then we will replace the drugs with cycloserine. It is used in combination with isoniazid also. It will show the antibacterial action by preventing the synthesis of cross-linking peptide in the formation of bacterial cell wall. So this mechanism of action is almost similar like penicillins. It will prevent the synthesis of cross-linking peptides so that a formation of the bacterial cell wall can be inhibited. Next structure is capreomycin. So this capreomycin structure also how to remember. So how many crowns are there, how many top parts are there, that you have to remember. Then how many downs are there, and in between how many nitrogen atoms are attached, and where the other substituents like amino groups and ketone groups or carbonyl groups are present, and here one pyrimidine ring is present at this position. So if you will practice how many crowns are there and how many downs are there, then the structure will become easy for you to remember. Uses, or it is used in place of streptomycin. If streptomycin is showing resistance in the patient, then we can replace streptomycin with capreomycin. Then patient is sensitive to streptomycin, or if bacteria is resistant to streptomycin, in all these three cases we can use this capreomycin. One major disadvantage or one major side effect about capreomycin is it will cause the damage to eighth cranial nerve and also causes renal damage. Mechanism of action is it is a peptide protein synthesis inhibitor. Like cycloserine. Next structure is viomycin. Viomycin structure also little complicated. So how we can practice is from here we can start. It contains pyrimidine ring, and to this pyrimidine ring OH group and NH2 group is present. And here one down is there. To this down two amino groups are present at this position and this position. Then carbonyl group, and again there is a side hump here, side chain is present, and here carbonyl group, and here one side chain is present which contains two amino groups, and one amino group is present in the chain itself. And here two crowns are present, and here there is a CONH NHCONH2 urea is present in the structure of biomycin. It is a bacteriostatic agent, and it will inhibit the bacterial protein synthesis by blocking elongation factor G. Catalyzed, so this elongation factor which is catalyzed the translocation of messenger RNA on the ribosomes, that will be blocked so that protein synthesis doesn't occur. That is mechanism of action of biomycin. Thank you all.